Hello, this is Single Again for the First Time, podcast 14, My Life as a Woman. What? I am Vincent Truman. This is Chicago, Illinois, and it's May 19th, 2013. So there.
That's better. So weird to be disembodied like that. Hello. So, as implied by the title, this is going to be a slight variation on the prototypical yet legally non-binding advice that I tend to give out on the Single Again for the First Time podcast, and I'm recording it at night in my fabulously cool and finished basement because I need some carcinogens to get through this. I'm just kidding about that one. And this deals primarily with an addiction that both my former spouse and I had, but I'm going to deal primarily with my stuff because I can really only speak to my shit. And it is the video game Second Life. Second Life I've described before, but I will summarize again. It is a virtual 3D online world where you can create an avatar in your own image, or prettier, or handsomer, or builtier. Builtier? Sure. Kind of create this little avatar, and you can walk around with it and fly around to people and hang out with people who think the same as you. It's a glorified chat room, only with bad animation. I was introduced to Second Life in 2007 from my wife-to-be. This is going to get very complicated, so I'll just say Jennifer. From Jennifer's friend, who was kind of a doofus and didn't do much with her life, just kind of a party girl too long, and just smoked pot a lot and was just kind of a cunt. And at the time it was very cool because Jennifer lived in Arlington Heights, I lived in Chicago, so we created our little avatars and we'd have geek dates, that's what we called them. And our little avatars would get together and one would fall down a hole and ha 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 ha, and we'd do the click the ha ha animation or some such bullshit, and we'd hang out and we'd have fun. It was a very good bonding experience. And when we were so enamored with the game that when we moved in together, we would play it in the same room. That was probably not a good thing, but we hung on to it. Now, I was a little bored with Second Life, not only because the computer I had just didn't handle the graphics very well, but it's not much for a guy to do in Second Life. You can be a musician, you can stream concerts. I wasn't that into that. I was tempted and occasionally dabbled in playing with other female avatars. Now, when I did that, just for kind of like masturbatory needs, desires. Now, when I did that, I didn't really give two thoughts about whether that might constitute cheating. Probably does, but I figured whoever is behind the avatar that I was diddling could have been a 60-year-old male trucker in a basement somewhere wearing a John Deere hat. You know, I had no idea. I had no connections with these people. But in discussing it with Jennifer, she said, I don't want you to do that. So I said, okay. And then there's not much else for a male avatar to do. You can't really buy clothes. There's not really that many clothes to buy. You can buy some different shapes and costumes. I don't know. I was bored, so I created a female avatar, and I dubbed her Madeline, which is my favorite name. And then things got a lot more interesting. I had a couple of mind-blowing experiences, excuse me. The first of which was this. I was hanging out as Madeline, and by the way, I created a whole great backstory that Madeline was a journalist and born and raised in Weston-super-Mare, which isn't that far from Wales, and a lot of sand and mud and a little racetrack, right? And I also went the extra step of I put my period between like the 5th and 12th of each month, and I'd vary it a little bit, but I'd always mention it month after month, just to kind of like put it out there. I actually had the I forgot it now, but the name of the brand of the pad that I used. I forgot the name of it. New Soft. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So I had Madeline, and I flew Madeline to a coffee shop. Well, a virtual coffee shop with virtual coffee and virtual steam coming up and virtual desks and seats and stuff. And I was talking to 3 other women. They may have been women. I'm guessing they are. And we were all talking about places to buy clothes. And the woman to my right said, yeah, I just got these boots, $100 boots. Do you want some? Because I can hook you up. $100 in Linden dollars, which comes to about 33 cents. They actually use currency on this game. Try and keep up. And everybody around her was like, oh, that's really nice. You know, those boots are really nice. And I was like, oh, yeah, right, brilliant. And then the woman to my left IM'd me. She instant messaged me and said, those are fucking freebies. So I was introduced for the first time to female social dynamics from inside. And I've asked a few women about this, and a lot have said, yeah, that's kind of what happens. There's all these multi-layer things going on. I can talk? Sure I can. So that was a kick, and that was interesting. Mind-blowing adventure number 2 was I was hanging out as Madeline, and Madeline, the Madeline avatar would hang out with the Jennifer avatar sometimes because I was just having so much fun with it. And we hung out with her verbose, horrible friend one night, and we were listening to a live streaming concert because you can do that. And he was dead awful. And Madeline is she's talking to Jennifer's verbose friend, Verbosia. And Madeline's talking to Verbosia, just like, oh, he's dead grotty, isn't he? And Verbosia is like eating it up. She's loving it. She's loving it. And this is in an instance where Jen and I were on different sofas. And I looked up at Jen and said, this guy is horrible. Jennifer typed that to Verbosia, that Vincent, me, said that the musician was horrible. And Verbosia said, oh, he's Mr. Judgmental, isn't he? Fascinating. Coming from me, fucking insult. Coming from Madeline, very clever. That was mind blower number 2. Mind blower number 3 was the first time I had sex. Now, I wasn't particularly looking to have sex with guys. I'm not gay. I'm not even bi. I'm not kind of inclined. You know, the idea of a wiener doesn't do much for me. I'm sorry. But I got something that I wasn't particularly getting in my then marriage. And to be fair, and with no diss on Jen, I really hadn't gotten it from any other relationship prior as well. But these guys come up, and women, if you're a woman, you know this. Guys come up and they just want your time. They want your attention. You know, what book are you reading? What's this? What's that? What's that? And this was the first time in like 40 odd years anybody had done that to me. And at first I thought, yeah, it was funny, it was ridiculous, but then I was like really intrigued. And honestly, I got a little into the addictive thing because I actually felt flattered that somebody wanted to spend time with me. I mean, it was a British girl with bangs and a big nose called Madeline, but it was still me. And I got into this whole kind of gameplay that I've never been able to do as a guy, but just came so naturally, where I would make them jump through hoops, or I'd talk about how I didn't like their shoes, and they'd change shoes, or, you know, I'd really like to have those shoes over there, and they would buy me the shoes. Why? I don't know. Because I had a vagina. Presumably. And these guys would just come on everywhere, and they'd do it. And I admit, in my addiction, I got a little interested or turned on or something. And when I would have like this virtual intercourse with these virtual guys. And I would very much in real time and in real life kind of take care of business on my own. Put it like that. You know what I'm talking about. When I would do that, it was like an interactive pornography scene that you might pick up on one of those pornography sites or something like that. It was a sex scene, only I could control one of the characters. And one of the characters I was controlling was the female character. And I was very intrigued, and it blew my mind. And I got fantastic gifts. I got jewelry. It's true. I got like full outfits. I was treated pretty well. After Jennifer and I got divorced, she was seeing some guy called Misha, 68. And I owe you one. Bye. And he got her a teddy bear for her birthday. And I thought, I'm a better woman than you are. Jump cut. So why did I quit? I did quit Second Life. I don't do it anymore. Couple of reasons. Number one, as fluffy as it made me feel, is that the right word? Actually, yeah, it kind of is. As fluffy as it made me feel, it was artificial, and I began to lose the objectivity that was necessary to play the game. In other words, I was starting to look forward to the game far too much. I was addicted to the game, and I slowed it down. And the number two reason was watching Jennifer's interaction and activity on the game, which continued long after we were separated and divorced, for that matter. I don't want to get into it too much, but we can sum it up this way. When Vincent played Second Life, he was Madeline. When Jennifer played Second Life, she was Jennifer. There was no safe wall. It all kind of blended together. So when she started going kind of batshit crazy and playing it every day in 2011 and discussing problems in our marriage with complete fucking strangers, all of which said wonderful things like, well, you deserve to be happy, which just set us on a whirlwind of destruction. Thanks, you bastards. That was the middle of a sentence. I don't know where it was going, but that's where it wound up. Anyway, I'm going to conclude this video right now, but I just wanted to put that out there. If you have inclination to play Second Life, don't. It's really the best advice I have for you. And within the context of any friendship or relationship you have, make sure you stay focused on the thing. We're in a society where distractions are really easy, and you can be really good friends with somebody one day and then just kind of stop talking to them. And apparently that's okay these days. But it's not cool. It's not cool. It serves nothing but some short-term megalomaniacal bullshit. Maybe not megalomaniacal. Just bullshit. We'll leave it at bullshit. Okay. I'm out of here. Thanks very much for listening. And carpe your life and all that stuff. And I'm going to vanish again. Here I go.